What's up, everybody? I'm Sherrill, and I'm going to do a little in the bag for you. I carry the pound Carlton bag. This has been my favorite backpack that I've ever used. It carries just enough discs. I had the old Octothorpe, and I was having to put like 5 extra discs in it to make it stand upright. And so I sold it, got this one. I'm never going back. This bag is amazing. We'll start out with some putters. These are my throwing putters. Carry them all in this side pocket here. I've got a couple of zones and then a couple other pretty ones. This is the new Earhart Tour Series zone. These things are incredible. If you haven't thrown one of these, it's going to replace the zone you have in your bag. They're stiff, board flat, super overstable, super reliable. I've been throwing this thing a ton the last week or so, and it's been amazing. Next, every person that throws disc golf, their bag should have a soft zone in it. The soft X zone is just so predictable. I mean, it's the stability of a zone, but it sits because it's so soft. Thanks, Dan Hastings, for hooking me up with this one, little team stamp. Next, I've got the Crystal Player of the Year Fierce. This is a great disc. I've been throwing it the last couple weeks since I got it, and it's more stable than you think, and it goes super straight and just kind of finishes straight. It's a great disc, and you can kind of work it on any line you want to. If you throw it on hyzer, it'll stay on hyzer. Throw it on Annie, it'll stay on Annie. Next, I've got the Tour Series Z Luna. This thing is fun. I'm still getting used to it, so it's hard to say yet. What I'll say is it's my furthest flying Luna. This thing goes so far. And then I've got a big Z Luna, very stable. One of my go-tos for sure. And my putting putters, I just switched these out today. I usually putt with Lunas, the softer run, but I just got these in the mail today. These OG Roaches, and they feel amazing, and honestly they feel very similar to the Lunas. So I putt with them this round that I just got finished with, and I was making a lot of putts with them, so who knows, we'll see. Next I'll move up to my mid-range. Actually, I've got one more zone, little Lemonade 5-time zone. I actually got an ace with this a few weeks back in a tournament. It's kind of a backup for the Earhart zone right now. Next I'll go to my mid-ranges. There's 3 molds. I'll start with the one I've got the most of, and that's the Buzz. I've got 3 of them, all different stabilities. The Dan Hastings Buzz, nice. If I'm going for a distance shot, this one has enough stability to hold up to full power. It's a really great flyer. Dan got some awesome discs, and his stamp is super clean, so you should pick one up. And then I've got 2 Macbeth Buzzes. I actually just put this one in the bag today to be a backup for this one. This one, I don't know why, but it came out super overstable, and I love that. It's got a little bit of blend to it. It's a great disc. And then I've got this new one that is flying. It flies a little bit straighter than this one. It's not quite as overstable. Then I've got Trusty Comet. This is one of my favorite discs that I throw. The ESP Comet is probably my favorite mid-range to throw. Just the flight of it is beautiful, stands up to flat. I actually have the best ace of my life with this disc at the Oak Hollow Open during the practice round. I threw in a 404-foot ace with this Comet. And then I've got a Malta. This flies like a long zone, and so that's what I use it for. It's just if I've got like a 250 to 300 foot shot that's just a pretty simple hyzer, I'll throw this Malta. Moving on to the fairways and drivers, I'll start with my fairways, and got this beautiful Onyx. Shout out to Walter Murray for this one. This is my overstable Onyx. It goes straight for a while, and then it definitely dumps left. Then I've got probably my most thrown fairway driver, which is the Raptor. This is the new Tour Series Ulibarri. They're pretty great. They're nice and stable. I love the feel of the plastic. It's nice and stiff, flat. It's a great disc. You should try them out. Then I've got another Onyx. This is probably my favorite Onyx. It is beaten into perfection. It goes super straight, and then has a little bit of fade, but I can also get this one to turn over. Then I've got a newer one to the bag, the Vulture, a Z Vulture with that Dan Hastings stamp on it. This thing is amazing. I never really found a Vulture that I liked until I found this one, and I can throw this on pretty much any angle, and it flies like a long buzz for me. I can throw it on stable, have it flip it to flat, and then come back with a little bit, or I can get it to turn and hold it. Then I've got this Stalker, ESP Stalker, the new Page run, and this one's pretty great. I use it a lot for rollers or big anties. That's really the slot that it fits in my bag. It's not quite stable enough for me to use outside of those two shots. Then I've got the new Gannon Undertaker. These things are pretty sweet. I love the blend of this plastic. That's why you've seen a lot of it in my bag so far. It feels great in the hand, super stiff. I really like that. This one goes way further than it should. I could probably push this out to like 425 if I had to. It goes so far. It's got a lot of stability for an Undertaker too. And finally, I'll go to my distance drivers. I carry a few different molds. First is the Surge. This thing is cool. I really enjoyed this one for long anties or just in the woods. I use this disc a lot. I'll flip it up to flat and let it ride. It's a great disc. Next, I've got a disc some of you have probably seen before on the Facebook pages. This kind of ESP Swirl Zeus. It is wild. It's probably the prettiest disc in my bag. Probably the prettiest disc I own, and it's a thrower. So super stable. If I've got like 400 plus, like Heiser, I'll probably throw this. Next is my favorite driver in my bag, the Big Z Zeus. You can tell it's my favorite. Look how shitty it looks. These are so underrated. I don't know why these aren't going for $100 each, because they go so far, and they're not understable, but they have a ton of glide. A lot of people call them flippy. I wouldn't say they're flippy. They will flip up and glide forever. I can push this thing out to 500 pretty easily. It goes so far. Then I've got a Dan Hastings Force. You'll notice a trend here that I have a crap load of Dan Hastings discs. Shout out to the man. This is a great Force. It's overstable. Headwinds, I'll bust this out. That's what it's for. It's probably my most stable driver in my bag. And I've got another Dan Hastings disc. This is a Nuke. This is my max distance disc. It's kind of a blend. It's kind of cold today, but this one, when it's warm, is really gummy, and I can get this thing to flip up or just straight turn it and then just glide out like a Nuke does. It's stable for a Nuke, but it goes a really long way. If I'm throwing max distance, this is what I'm throwing. And then finally, the new 2020 Big Z Force. The Big Z Force is one of my favorite discs. It feels so good in the hand, and it's stable without losing the glide, and so I use this one for a lot of overstable shots that I need that glide for. That's about all I've gotten here. I had a machete, but I lost it somewhere, so got to get another one of those sometime. Anyway, thanks for watching. Peace.